Hello, my name is Aart van Veller. I need to start with a small confession. I have some experience in public speaking, but I don't have a lot of experience in hosting a conference like this. So I'm a little bit out of my comfort zone, and I'm gonna try to get you out of it too, so I don't feel so lonely on this stage. Holly assured me also that you would be a very nice audience, so hopefully, well, you will be. But let me start with a brief explanation on why I stand there and what my connection is to today's topic, biodiversity in the creative industry. I was raised by two hippie parents, and they fed me with pumpkin and jazz music. And when I was about the age of 17, my geography teacher gave me the book of the Club of Rome, Limits to Growth it was called. Anyone know of it? And did anyone read it? Well, if you've read this book, at least I was shocked by the content of it. And I think since then I really made a decision, you know, this is something I want to live for. But I was uncertain how and what, yeah, how I should put my talents in this topic. I studied economics and business with the idea that if you want to change the world, you need to make sure what makes her tick, and that is basically economics and money. And then in the final year, I made it through the Ben & Jerry's Climate Change College. There will be another speaker who knows a lot about it as well today. And the Ben & Jerry's Climate Change College was a kind of 9-month program where you get teach everything about climate change. And the highlight was a 2-week trip to the Arctic, where we collected some data for scientists. Yeah, that made a deep impression. It was still minus 25 degrees, so it was still pretty cold, but you could see that a lot of things were changing there, and the local people really were already hit by the effects of climate change. After this college, I started my first company, a small consultancy company with the name Wij zijn cool, we are cool, but then with K-O-E-L. It started a little bit as a joke, but I attracted MTV Networks as the first client and decided to target the big brands because only 100 brands on this planet control more than 25% of all the resources on this planet, or the most important resources. So if we only can change 100 companies, we can really make a kind of change. Since then, my life has been a kind of roller coaster. That was in 2007, and I think in 2009 I met 2 crazy architects and another guy from Tenderis, and we founded a new company, and then a new one, and then a new one. I think we founded 5 companies right now. You can see an overview of the portfolio at our website. But many more crazy things happened, all with the aim to accelerate this transition to a sustainable economy. So that's a little bit my background. Today is about biodiversity and about the creative industry. And I'm wondering what the first image is that pops into your mind when you think of those two kind of words. So biodiversity and the creative industry. And I'm gonna just ask a few questions in the audience. So be prepared if you get the mic under your, or maybe someone wants to start with answering this question. What image pops into your mind? If I don't see a volunteer, I will just walk to, well, then we can just walk. This lady over here, can you please try to answer this question? Please tell your name and the answer to this question.
Can you answer the question again?
So the connection, what is the first image that pops into your mind when you think of the word biodiversity and the creative industry? Hedgehogs. Nice. Yeah, can you try or no?
Maybe later.
Okay, maybe later. Another one. I know it's Monday morning and it's...
In English?
Yeah, in English would be great. Yeah. Can you
yes,
get the mic?
I can only speak on the creative industry, the biodiversity is a bit wide for me, but the creative industry sounds like a bit artistics and hippies, but you already introduced a bit like the hippie background you have, and I have also that image, but images don't say anything, of course, but it's really important, so that's why I'm hippies and artistic things around
Thank
that.
you. And what's your name and what do you do in profession?
I'm a geography teacher. Now I'm in my final year as a urban geographer. So I'm really in my end stage of researching. So I'm here for. I'm a little bit of. Maybe I'm the most generalistic guy in the room. I'm not really a designer or architect or someone like that.
Okay, great. Thanks. One more. You have the opportunity to introduce yourself. Yeah.
Hello, my name is Bohdan. I'm designing patterns for clothing. I think two words I would say. Evolution is one of the most important things. And I see 3 C's. Cradle to cradle maybe. Cradle to cradle design.
Yeah. With the 3rd C. Yeah. Okay, thanks. The first image that popped into my mind is the next slide. Maybe they can put it there. Yeah, that's it. Avatar. It was a huge success, and I was kind of happy with this movie because I think it, in a very easy way, kind of communicated biodiversity and sustainability, and made it attractive for the big audience. So that was the image that popped into my mind. The second slide, please. So what is sustainability? It's kind of a vague word, you know. Many people use it in a, I don't think, in a very good and honest way. I also think it's kind of broad, you know. People, planet, profit, organic, fair trade, local. What can you name it? For us, it all translates back into this slide, and I very briefly gonna explain it. On the horizontal axis, you see the Human Development Index, the HDI. And on the vertical axis, you see the ecological footprint. And the little dots are countries, and the colors are continents. Next, here, this thing. That works better, I think. Yeah, so what you see is with an increase in quality of life and human development, you also see a decrease or an increase in ecological footprint. So an increase in quality of life and an increase in ecological footprint. So I think that the biggest challenge of the 21st century is how to increase quality of life in the one hand, in basically any country, and decrease the ecological footprint. And then we all need to get into this little box. So Africa, India, China, all these countries are here, and we, of course, are here. And there's one little country over here. Who has any idea on what that country might be? What's that? Yeah, Cuba. That's correct. I don't believe that we should all aim to be a kind of Cuba country, but it's interesting that they are just over there. One of the reasons is that for a long time they were, you know, just by themselves, and they had to recycle and produce their own energy and all that stuff. So when I think of design and the word biodiversity and sustainability, I always think of this famous speech by Bill McDonnell on TED. I think it was in 2007 already. Have you seen this TED movie? Who did see it? Yeah, 1, 2. Definitely gonna watch this little movie. He basically said design. How do we? The basic design question should be, how do we love all the children of all species for all time? And their goal is to create a delightful, diverse, safe, healthy, and just world with clean air, water, soil, and power, economically, equitably, ecologically, and elegantly enjoyed. So I was pretty impressed by this goal of these two guys. They're also the founders of Cradle to Cradle. So that's a little bit my background, and that's a little bit how I wanted to frame this sustainability and biodiversity. I think right now we are ready to watch a short video on the Green Collective and how they see us.
Life on Earth is enormously diverse. Every ecosystem, life form and genetic variety, from the smallest bacteria, fungi and plants to the largest animals, the tropical rainforests or the Dutch pasture lands, is unique and in many cases mutually dependent. This enormous variety is what we call biodiversity. From the Industrial Revolution to the current day, we have seen an immense increase in production and consumption, coupled with a disturbing increase in the exploitation of nature. For example, the non-sustainable use of palm oil and soya. Our current production and consumption culture is one of the major contributors to reducing biodiversity, due to the extinction of species, which cause ecosystems to stagger and even fall. Biodiversity is not only beautiful, but also useful and necessary. It provides clean water, fertile soil and a stable climate, but also food and raw materials for housing, clothing, fuel and medicines. These natural resources safeguard our future and form the basis of our prosperity and thus economic development. Biodiversity contributes to the quality of life and human welfare. The time to change is now. And the destructive nature of our consumption and production society needs to be rigorously restructured into a new ecological economy. A sustainable future begins with the choices of individual citizens. Education, experience, knowledge and information are the cornerstones on which this awareness is based. The creative industry has strong communicational connections to consumers and can therefore aid the shift to an ecological economy and function as a catalyst for other industries. Many challenges are on our path, and boundaries must be broken to facilitate true innovation needed for an ecological revolution, albeit in discovering new raw materials or innovations in processing and treatments. By combining its cross-sectorial forces such as fashion, design and architecture, but eventually encompassing all fields, and through collaborations with other top sectors such as the water, energy and chemical industries, horticulture, agriculture and logistics, the creative industries can contribute to an ecological economy. We will not continue on our lane path, but will take today as a starting point to shape our future and new worlds. We will not continue on our lane path, but will take today as a starting point to shape our future and new worlds. We will not continue on our lane path, but will take today as a starting point to shape our future and new worlds.
I think that was an awesome movie. No, I think it was a good introduction, and the background music was missing, I believe, and then there also happened something else.